identify that a person is affected by malignant or otherwise. If it is not properly done by the clinical people, it will say affect the patient. Whether correct diagnosis means the person will go for treatment. Otherwise, even if a person is not affected by cancer and if he goes for treatment, it is not acceptable. Therefore, the diagnosis should be very perfect. But the people used to apply low precision diagnostic methods such as radiography or mammography. Those things cannot predict accurately the classification of the two tumors, namely malignant and benign. That's why we used to advise methods like the R programming or the Python program may be used to classify the things. But that is why I say the purpose of this presentation is to discuss different ways to help hospitals improve individualized care on diagnosis and prognosis of benign and malignant tumors. That's all. Okay. Now, here the tools which are helpful to do the classifications will be from statistical methods. One method is called. Hello? Any chairperson?
Yeah, please.
Can I proceed?
Yes.
Hello? Am I audible?
Please.
Okay, sir. I proceed. Okay. See here, for say carrying out classification, we have to seek the help of statistical methods. There are several methods. Of them, I am going to discuss with two different methods. One is called linear discriminant analysis. Linear discriminant analysis, LDA. Hello? Hello? Any intervention from the chair? No. Hello? Chairperson? Can I proceed?
Please
or can I wait?
continue.
Okay, thank you very much. Right.
Yes,
See here, linear discriminant analysis and PCA. They are the and even neural network. Neural network can help us while fitting the linear models as well as non-linear models, right? Therefore, I used three different methods and I compared the say performance. We all know that principal component tries to find the directions of the maximum variance in the data set. Say any decision making based on variance will be will give much which will produce more accuracy and less error. Therefore, PCA is fully dependent on variance. It is not so. LDA, linear discriminant analysis, both are say dimension reduction, or it will reduce the dimension. Supposing if you have 30 variables in your data sets, the dimension is 30, 30. From 30, it will reduce to 6 or 7, because statistical methods say if the number of variables under investigation is around 10, then we can extract very useful information from our analysis. So dimension reduction is an important aspect. Both will take care of that, LDA and PCA. Now, uh, dimension reduction, right? Both will do the same. Now, for I consider diagnostic breast cancer WBDC data set. It is available in our website. One of the very useful data sets. In this data set, the statistics or data are collected from 569 patients on 30 features, 30 variables of the cell nuclei obtained from the digitalized image of a fine needle aspirate of a breast mass. They collect breast mass, they take the picture, then they calculate the measurements on 30 variables. Based on the markers on the 30 variables, there are some benchmark methods. Using them, they classify the person is whether affected by cancer or otherwise. That means benign category or the benign or malignant category. That is the conventional method. But see, the outline is given. See, V1, V2, V3, V14, V15, etc., 27, etc., 32. There are 32 items, 32 columns. The first column is the 1, 2, 3 serial number. Second column is the ID of the patient. Third column is the target, that is whether malignant category or benign category, like that. We have on 30 variables and like this. Now, see here, I have the malignant category will be called as a string constant, like that. It will be available. The ID, diagnosis, then 30 features. These are the data. So the data set will have 569 rows and 32 columns. Then if you use programming languages, then you have to pre-process the data. And I have done that through R programming, and I have calculated the principal components based on eigenvalues. See, there are 30 features, means there will be 30 eigenvalues. Of them, only 6 eigenvalues have the eigenvalue greater than 1. They are the powerful. Only 30 dimension is reduced to 6. What we say, the statisticians, instead of dealing with those, each principal component will avoid the redundant information, right? They will give us the independent components. First component is independent of second component. Of course, linear combination of these features. And this is the first step. This way we reduce the 30 dimension to 6 dimensions. Then see here, I have drawn the picture, 2-dimensional picture based on the principal component 1 and principal component 2. See the variations based on variance. You see the clusters. Malignant is in this color, and blue colored is benign category, right? Like this, in the it classifies, right? There are two clusters. Some of them are misclassified. This is the information we extract using R programming, right? Then here what we see is We see the beauty of PCA, principal component analysis. With just the first two components, we can clearly see some separation between the benign and malignant tumors here. Say separation, it will separate
Srivastava, please
the
summarize.
patients.
Excuse me, please
Okay,
summarize
sir.
your
Okay, sir.
presentation.
Okay, sir. May I know your good name, sir?
Professor Krishna A. Goyal.
Okay, sir. So similarly, if you were to proceed further, it will indicate how many of them are misclassified, how many patients are misclassified. For example, a person affected by cancer may be classified as non-cancer. So every method there will be some misclassification. Say based on that, we can say now using this information, the persons must be well treated. Accordingly, the treatment must be decided. That is why we use our R programming. Similarly, Python also. This is the output of Python. It also classifies the two categories. Say red category benign and green category malignant, like that. Here also misclassification may take place and like that. See, this is the outcome of linear discriminant. Linear discriminant, this is the outcome of PCA. Like that, everything will give. And even the score for each category can be calculated. Based on that, we can classify whether first one is powerful or second one is powerful. Okay, both R and Python have excellent capability of performing PCA and LDA. R has nice visualization library for like that. The outputs are nicely formatted and easy to read. So these are my comments about the two methods. Okay, sir. I stop with that.
Thank you, thank you. Your good full name is?
Professor Sivaswamy, University of Botswana. I am in the statistics department.
Okay. Thank you. It's a nice presentation. University of Botswana.
Yeah.
Thank you, Professor.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
So the next presenter is, can we take the next presenter? It's Ripna.
Good noon, sir. Hello.
Please.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Ripna, you have 5 minutes to complete your presentation.
Hello.
Yeah,
Hello.
please share your screen. You have 5 minutes to complete your presentation.
Yes, sir. Wait a second. I'm trying to share my screen.
நான் முடிச்சிட்டேன். உங்களை கூப்பிடாம வேற யாரையும் கூப்பிட்டுருக்கான். என்ன இன்ட்ரோடியூஸ் கூட பண்ணல. அப்புறம் நானே ஆரம்பிச்சிட்டேன்.
Reepna,
Yes, sir.
maybe due to technical error, you are unable to present.
Yes,
Or are you ready to present?
yes, sir. I'm ready to present, but my screen is not showing on the screen.
Yeah, your screen is visible to us. You may start.
Okay, so my topic is using ICT in today's education. The study explores the importance of the implementation of the ICT that
Reepna,
contributes.
Reepna, we are unable to understand what you are talking about. So we are skipping to the next participant, who is Sudha
My
Biscoy,
topic,
7190. Sudha
my
Biscoy.
topic,
Yes, sir,
Sudha,
I'm
are you
sharing.
there?
Yes, sir, I'm sharing the screen.
You may start.
Should we take the next one yet? As reply does not seems to be ready.
so may I start?
Yes, please. Yes, please continue. We are waiting for you only.
My topic is using ICT in today's education.
But your screen is
I,
not
ICT
visible,
is,
so you can present without screen.
yes, sir. Okay, fine. ICT stands for Information and the Communication Technology. ICT comprises of both old and the new tools. Old tools includes radio, TV, telephones. Even the new tools comprises computers, satellites, the internet and the wireless technology. The main objective of the ICT in today's education it includes the provide accessibility through online medium of education, improving the quality of teaching to increase transparency in the education system, to strengthen the policies, rules, and the laws in the education system. This study explores the importance of the implementation of ICT that contributes to the implementation of the various tools and the systems that support the purpose of educational learning for the students.
Reepna,
Is this what?
Reepna,
Yes, sir.
neither your screen is showing on desktop and nor we are unable to understand what you are saying. So I request the next participant. Is there Sudha Biscoy?
Because due to some technical errors, my PPT is not showing on the screen.
Okay, don't worry. Sudha is here.
Sir. Yes, sir.
You may start.
Okay, sir.
प्रोफेसर कृष्ण आपसे रिक्वेस्ट है सर आपका माइक म्यूट कर लें आप प्लीज
Sir, is it visible?
Yeah, it's visible.
Be a little faster and be a little brief.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. On my behalf of my team, I'm presenting a topic which is very much important as we all familiar with FMCG sector, which is fast growing in our and which is very important in our day-to-day life. Uh, Basically, in our modern world, various software and hardware target customers and promote their brands in order to achieve their marketing targets. Where sector uses either physical mode or digital method of communication. Digital and cognitive technologies are changing now, and new label has been proposed, which is digitalization, which is the integration of word of physical plus digital word. With this technology, company try to combine virtual and real scenario in a single place. This study presented the FMCG sector, which is growing at the pace of 9.5% in 2028, And
Can you skip your slides on discussion?
yes, sir.
You must
The
start.
objective of our study to identify certain digitalized independent element for physical digitalization. Secondly, to understand the contribution that various digital factors play in FMCG sector. And thirdly, to determine outcomes using the ISM model and understand the relevance of their approach. I'm directly coming to the main methodology. We have run ISM model uh, to determine what are the various digital factors that contribute to the FMCG sector so that it can pace its growth according to the current scenario. Uh, we have done a questionnaire which is based on 45 questions, and it has been distributed among 81 respondents, in which 63% are majorly female and rest are the males. So the results, uh, the results are being shown. These are the 10 variables in which we have determined our results. Here shown Vx, VAXO variable. Implies A impact B. A implies how B impact A. X how A and B impact each other, and O how A and B does not impact each other. So on basis of our responses from our respondent, we feed up the answers in our this structure. Next, we prepare a reachability matrix. The reachability matrix is generally to satisfy a formal specification expressed in the temporal logos. So it is done on the 0 and 1 parameters, where V shown as 1, A shown as 0, X 1, and O as 0. So the results had been feed up according to that. Next, we the empty area shown in the diagram is being set accord.
Sudha, can you show your findings?
Yeah, the finding shows that the finding. Okay. Yeah, the finding show that how the various variable which have been identified by us are positively impacting the FMCG sector and can contribute its growth in the digital scenario. So, thank you. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, continue.
Yes, sir. So these are the mimic approach, which showing who are the enablers and who are the dis-enabler according to our variable set, that is the 10 variable, and shows that the digital-driven value chain and horizontal, vertical, and end-to-end integration have simultaneously have independent effect on FMCG at the same time. So this both variables showing the independent effect on the FMCG sector, and they are a good pace to the FMCG growth in this digitalized scenario. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. The next call is for Pallavi Negi, 174.
Yes, sir. I'm just sharing my screen. So is my screen visible?
Yeah, it's visible.
Yes.
Yes. So good afternoon to the session chair, co-chair, organizing team, fellow presenters, attendees. My name is Pallavi Negi, and today on behalf of my team, I'll be presenting my paper on the topic, analyzing the factors affecting attitude towards sharing brand-related fake news and its impact on purchase intention. So the purpose or objective of this paper is to understand why people share fake news related to brands and how it influences their purchase intention. So talking about fake news, it's not a new phenomenon. Its existence goes back to
You may skip this,
1950s.
Pallavi.
Sorry, sir?
You may skip this and start from your research work.
Sure, sir. So should I include my research gap? Should I talk about my research gap?
Come straight to the core of your research.
Okay, so research question. So the two questions that I addressed in my paper, first was how does the gratification factors of social media users affect attitude towards sharing brand-related fake news, and how does users' attitude towards sharing brand-related fake news affect actual purchase intention? So these are my hypotheses. There are 6 hypotheses. As we can see in the conceptual model, entertainment, information sharing, information seeking, socializing, and status seeking, these were the 5 gratifications which were derived from the user and gratification theory. So my objective on my paper was to understand their relationship with attitude towards sharing fake news, and then consequently the relationship between attitude towards sharing fake news and purchase intention. So the methodology, so research design followed a descriptive and exploratory. Source of data, I used a structured questionnaire with Likert scale, 5-point scale, and the questionnaire was administered online using Google Form. So the inclusion criteria consist of individuals, both male and female, aged 18 years and above. Sample size was 140 after removing some unengaged responses. Duration was between April and June. Sampling technique, I used non-probability sampling technique, quota sampling, and data analysis. For that, I used SEM, structural equation modeling, with the help of AMOS 23 software. So these are the adapted scales, the description of the scales from where the papers, the previous studies from where I picked my scales and adapted them. So this is moving on to the data analysis part. This is the demographic profile of the respondents. So based on gender, age, employment status, education, their socioeconomic classification, marital status, their frequently used social media, time, and the fake news and the product type. Basically, a question was asked to respondents to name the product type about which they, came across fake news about which type of product. So in this, consumer products like food products, beverages, personal care products, home care products, and others, they were given as option to the respondents. So moving on to the so basically first I did the confirmatory factor analysis to confirm the accuracy of my measurement model. Then I did a SEM to explore the association among the latent constructs. So here, as we can see on the screen, reliability and validity was calculated to assess our measurement model. So the alpha, Cronbach alpha, and the composite reliability were above the threshold value of 0.7. Hence, confirmed reliability. Yes, sir?
Your methodology is fine, but come straight to the conclusion part.
Sure, sir. So after calculating my validity, conversion, and discriminant, I did the model fit. Model fit summary is also given, as we can see on the screen, to calculate the goodness of fit. Then hypothesis testing with all the path analysis, and moving on. This is the structural model. So moving on to the findings, as we can see here, H1 hypothesis, H1, H2. H5 and H6 hypotheses were accepted, whereas H3 and H4 were rejected. So socializing gratification was found to be the most significant predictor, followed by entertainment gratification, followed by information sharing. So the study did not support the association of information seeking with attitude towards brand-related fake news, which was in contrast to past studies. And the reason for this could be the information overload, as studies have revealed that excessive exposure provided by social media can cause information overload and exhaustion, which can have a negative impact on information seeking and sharing behavior. The study also did not support the association of status seeking with sharing brand-related fake news. And this could be because users, they avoid sharing information which is unverified because they feel that it might jeopardize their reputation. As for the association of attitude towards fake news sharing with purchase intention, the results supported the hypothesis. So the implications, we had theoretical implications and managerial implications. Theoretical in terms of extending the user gratification and TRA theory, and managerial implications for the brand managers and brand managers to monitor the quality.
Pallavi,
yes, sir.
Are you listening? You are
yes, sir, yes, sir.
You are discussing fake news in the context of advertisements, promotion of
no. So brand-related content.
Brand-related content. So,
yes,
which were the brands that you took into consideration?
So I didn't take any certain brand for that reason. I just asked a question because it's a novel study. It's very it's a niche study. So I just asked a basic question about brand / product related information that the users they come across.
What I want to ask is, as far as television channels, news channels are concerned, it is generally perceived that most of these are, you can say, spreading fake news. So wouldn't it be better that instead of taking, you can say, consumer brands, you focus your study on, you can say, something that is indeed considered to be fake news?
So yes, sir.
Yes. Because as far as advertising is concerned, we generally agree that there would be some sort of exaggeration. So there is nothing like, you can say, fake news in the context of advertising or promotion of brands. Are you getting my point?
Yes, I understand, but here we are talking about user-generated content. Because most of the fake news that are circulated on social media platforms, they are not actually as sponsored or
Not
in
verified enough.
collaboration
Okay.
with the
Okay,
brands.
fair.
They're not
Thank-
verifiable.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Palvi. Next one.
Thank you, sir.
Next call is for Yogita, 176. Yogita, are you here?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Start
sir.
your
Yes,
presentation,
sir.
Yogita.
Yes, sir.
Start. Who will technical authority?
Sir, is my screen visible?
Yeah, it's visible. Start your presentation with your slides.
So, due to the technical error, I cannot upload my PPTs. Wait for
Okay,
1 or 2 minutes, sir.
you will present
I'm
in next
trying.
call. You will present in next call. Then the next is 179. Nilamra Srivastava.
Yes, we are
Nilamra,
here. Yes, sir, we are here.
you may start.
Sir, is my slides visible?
That's
Yes.
visible.
Good afternoon, all the judges present there. My name is Gaurav, and I'm presenting this research paper under the supervision of Dr. Nilambra and the co-author Alekhya. My topic for this research paper is the role of emotional intelligence in academic performance of students of higher education with special reference of Delhi NCR. Emotional intelligence is a critical motivator for students in higher education and it supports them in navigating their academic paths and achieving success. Our objectives was to investigate the impact of of demographic variables, genders, and age on emotional intelligence of students, to study the impact of emotional intelligence on academic performance of students, and to suggest strategies to enhance emotional intelligence of students across colleges. We have taken these two hypotheses, and these are our literature reviews of Goldman theories, Peter Salovey from 1990s and 1998.
Gaurav, skip all these slides and show your research work.
Yes, sir. Coming to the research methodology, we have divided into three appendix: demographic profiles, personal informations like name, age, designations, and emotional intelligence inventories, which in which we have included informations like I share information and ideas at work. I feel I lose balance and patience at the time of failures. And we have talked about academic performance scales, in which we have taken marks, results, homeworks, mastery in subjects, presentation skills. In the sampling methods, we have taken like a sample size of 300 was decided, and in which around 270 were turned on, but only 255 were completely filled. Hence, sample size of 255 was used. Simple random sampling method was used for data collection, before which focus group interview was done. These were the three appendix: demographic informations, 12 items, emotional intelligence inventory, and academic performance. Framing of questionnaire, we have used 5-point Likert scale method, just like most of the items true of me, quite often true of me. In our research methodology, we have done chi-square test was conducted to study the impact of variables of genders, male and females, Similarly, for the age on emotional intelligence of the students, correlation was conducting to test the relationship between emotional intelligence and academic performance, and the regression analysis was conducted to study the impact of emotional intelligence on academic performance. More than 50% was male and around 40% was female, and around 60% was above the age of 20, and around 25% was
Can you please show your findings?
yes, sir. Emotional intelligence plays a vital role in the academic achievements and success across the multiple domains encompassing education and professional space. It is crucial for stakeholders to prioritize the cultivation of students' emotional intelligence, as this directly impacts their academic achievements and overall welfare. Emotional intelligence skills, including motivating others, self motivations, communication proficiency, empathy, and building connections, are crucial. These are some limitations and recommendations. Coming to my conclusion part, emotional intelligence plays an important role in academic performance. It has direct impact on students. Education institutions and policymakers should actively adopt personalized projects that aims at developing students' emotional intelligence skills. By doing so, we can promote better academic achievements and providing individuals with the skills they need to flourish, adapt, and positively impact their personal journey. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Gaurav.
Thank you.
After that, next is Jyoti Tiwari, 181. Jyoti Tiwari,
Yes, sir.
start. Jyoti.
Sir, give me some time because I'm not able to sharing my screen.
Okay, next is Surender, 186.
Good afternoon, everyone. I, Gaurav Joshi, scholar of Dr. Surinder from Central University of Haryana, will be sharing my screen with all of you. So I'm sharing my screen. Just give me a minute. So is my screen visible, sir?
It's visible now, Gaurav.
Yes. So my topic is corporate social responsibility ability advertisements through social media, a new tactic for brand promotion. So I'll keeping the time restraints in mind. I'll read the abstract and then I'll come to findings and conclusion. Today, social media has created a virtual world. We all know that social media people live in a global village where we can interact from anywhere in the world. So people are using the new media at a large scale, and brands are also using that on a large scale for advertisements, social, especially for CSR campaigns, where they do the which also helps in their branding. So in this research, we have taken 5 advertisement awareness campaigns which were run by different brands over the last few years, which has helped them in their branding. And for this paper, we have used content analysis method. This is the introduction of our research, and I'll then the reasons why the CSR advertisements are done, which is also an effective brand promotion tactic, because it increase brand awareness, connect with customers, showcase social responsibility, and enhance corporate reputation. So discussion of my research, I'll come to the objectives are to understand the CSR and its role in brand promotion, find out the social media as a platform for CSR, use of social media as a platform for CSR advertisement, analyze the role of advertisement through social media and increase brand awareness, and to determine the factors that influence consumer attitude and behavior towards CSR advertisements. So this discussion are on different my campaigns. The first is Dove hashtag real beauty sketches, and then this was launched in 2013. The campaign got 163 million views, and it was a huge success in India also, because it increased the sales of Dove by 20%, and which was also and in a research it was found that 71% of Indian women felt that it has included it has impacted their perception for beauty. Then the next campaign is Coca-Cola hashtag share a Coke. So Coca-Cola with a song Umeedo Ali Dhoop.
Gaurav, can you please show your findings?
Yes, sir. So I'll directly come to the conclusion. This research paper examines the effectiveness of corporate social responsibility advertisements on social media for brand elevations. Because this is a qualitative study, so there is no data as such. So this is a qualitative study, and we have done the content analysis. Through text, okay. So the research shows that companies like Dove, Coca-Cola, Airbnb, Nike, and Patagonia have use social media effectively, and they have been successful in using these platforms to enhance their image and brand building. The advertisements have resulted in increased brand loyalty, positive attitude of consumers, and has made a better perception of social responsibility and a better perception about the brand in their customers and potential customers image. So the success depend. Then there is also this finding that the success of these campaigns depend on factors like target audience, authenticity, and message conveyed. So the company should plan precise campaigns and execute CSR initiatives with brand value, which will echo with the target audience. So I think that there can be a further research for brand reputation and
Thank you,
consumer
Gaurav. Gaurav,
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir.
The next is Tejaswini, 187. Tejaswini. After that, Ritu, 190.
Yes, good afternoon, sir.
You may start.
Sorry, sir, actually my light has... I'll just present after the next candidate.
Okay, after that, next is Deepa Mehta, 193.
Good noon, sir.
Deepa, are you here?
Yes, sir, I'm sharing my screen. Sir, is the screen visible? Is the screen visible, sir?
Yes, your screen is visible.
Okay, sir. Good noon, all members of the conference. Today I'm here representing my paper about analytical review of linear algorithmic approach. So I'll start with abstract. Here we analyze the performance of linear sorting techniques by two methods, by their space complexity and time complexity. So the word algorithm was developed in 9th century by a Persian mathematician, and he defined the algorithm as a set of rules to be followed in finite steps and in sequence to get our input to be converted in the output and get the results that we desire. We use some asymptotic notations to calculate the complexities of the algorithms, and the three notations are used here for the computations. First is theta notation. Theta notation is used to find the average case complexity of an algorithm. It finds the upper and lower bound of the algorithm time. Upper bound is the maximum time it taken to get the input to be converted in the output, and the lower bound is the lowest time it taken to convert the input into the output. Second one notation is the big OH notation. It finds the upper bound, the worst case complexity, means the largest amount of time the algorithm taken to compute the statements. And third one is the omega.
Keep your slides on conclusion.
Okay, sir.
It is a humble submission to all the participants that please show your objectives and then conclusion part.
Fine, sir. Sir, this is the analysis slide. Here we compare the complexity of these two algorithms, and this table shows that In case of merge sort, the worst case complexity is order of n log n, and in insertion sort it is order of n square. Like this merge sort has in all three cases, worst case, average case and best case, all three cases it has the same complexity in case of time. And insertion sort has a different in best case. Best case is where nothing is to be done, the list will be already sorted in sorted order. So this is the comparison of time complexity. In next slide, this is the comparison of space complexity. And in case of merge sort, the space complexity is O(n), because n number of arrays are needed to swap the list to be in the sorted order. And in case of insertion sort, only one variable is needed for the purpose of swapping, so that the list will be sorted. So in our concluding remark, we can say that the merge sort is much faster in comparison to the insertion sort, and on small inputs, but the insertion sort can be give the faster results, but only in the case where the list is very small. And if the keys are partially jumbled, not the list is not reversed properly, but it is partially sorted and partially unsorted, then the performance will be different. The insertion sort will do better in that case, because it didn't need to follow all the steps. And in case of merge sort, we need required extra space for full array, but in case of insertion sort, we only need one variable extra in when we compare the space complexity of both the algorithm. So we can say the linear algorithm can work better in many of the cases other than the non-linear algorithms. This is all about. There are some references and thing note.
Thank you, Deepa.
Sir, I have another paper. Can I do that also?
What's about that ID?
That is 222, sir.
Okay, start. Continue.
Okay, sir.
Hello. So 181 Jyoti Tiwari is available for presentation.
Okay, after you may present, Jyoti.
Sir, is the screen
Okay,
visible?
Yeah, screen is visible, Deepa.
Okay, sir. Sir, this is about the analyzation of image quantization using BFO algorithm. BFO algorithm is applied to test even if that we quantize an image, means we compress the image. What is the impact of quality of in that image by using this algorithm? So we have taken three type of images: PNG, JPG, and PNG, JPG, and BMP images. Three type of images are taken in the analysis to compare if we apply this algorithm, what will be the results. So, sir, will I continue or jump to the conclusions?
Yeah, you may jump.
Okay, sir. So these are the four formulations applied to test the results, and this is a table showing the comparison. So by applying all these four techniques, mean square, PSNR, CR, and BPP, applied on all three types of images, taking the one image, we can see the parametric values and decide the results. Above, these are the images. These three images, this image is applied on these three images are applied using these four parameters, and we can see the results in these graphs. And after the results, we can conclude that when we compress the image using this BFO algorithm, the BMP image gives the better result. The BMP image loses very less colors. The quality of image gets very good, but it was compressed in size. So our analysis shows the algorithm produced much compression in images as decided on the basis of color population. When the color population increase in color, the maximum compression can be achieved in case of BMP images without degrading the quality of the image in comparison with other two types of images. And this is the observation, sir, and conclusions, references, and thank you note, sir.
Thank you, Deepa. Next one is Ritu.
Thank you so much, sir.
Ritu.
Yes, yes, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Ritu from University Business School, Punjab University. And sir, is it visible?
It's visible now.
Okay. So my topic is an investigation of gender differences in attitude towards social media political advertising. So political advertising is same like commercial advertising, because under commercial advertising, the use of promotional tool is to promote goods or services. And in case of political advertising, the aim is to promote political parties, candidate agendas, or political
Skip this on
causes.
your research.
Yes, sure, sir.
Skip into.
So my topic is related to gender, that I am taking gender as a moderator in my study. And these are some literature review, and these are my hypotheses that informativeness, entertainment, and irritation has a greater influence on attitude towards social media political advertising for males than for females, and males have a stronger influence on attitude towards social media political advertising than females have. I distributed the Google form through distributed my questionnaire through Google Forms and collected 107 respondents. So these are my findings, in which in these tables, all the values are under acceptable range. So all these values are acceptable. And my hypothesis 1 and 4 is not supported. That means these are rejected. And hypothesis number 2 and 3 are accepted. And finally, the conclusion that this study aims to develop a model for investigating how gender differences can moderate the relationship among these belief factors that are informativeness, entertainment, and irritation.
I have a query. Ritu.
Yes, sir.
Why you should fix your sample size 107?
Sir, actually, I distributed 150 and collected only 107 due to the time constraint.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And the results of this study indicate that males and females form attitude towards social media political advertising differently. Furthermore, the current study also suggests that it is important for advertisers to take gender differences into account when producing political advertisement for men and women, as it will help the advertisers to spend money more effectively. So these are the conclusion for my study, and there are some limitations also that I did my study using the non-probability sampling technique. The sample size was very small, and I've taken only few factors, which are informativeness, entertainment, and irritation, while there are other factors also like trustworthiness, credibility, etc., which future researchers can consider them for future researchers. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you. Next is Jyoti Tiwari. Are you here, Jyoti?
Yes, sir.
Start your presentation.
Okay. So it is visible?
It's visible now.
Okay, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. Firstly, my name is Jyoti Tiwari. I'm Guru Bhasidas University. My paper presentation was energy efficient of clustering protocol for WSN, first wireless sensor network. This is my overview, introduction, literature review, and others. These are the introduction. First, wireless sensor network. So I'm working for wireless sensor network for energy efficient protocol. All are the required for sensing and limited consumption of the communication and the capability. There are the many applications for monitoring area and soils also. These are my literature review for joint energy replacement, and they are the refreshing of my base paper was the routing using energy efficiency for discharge algorithm. This is my base paper. Problem identification. This is my high data traffic and dynamic environment. This is the WSN is the deployment of the dynamic harass environment. If such is the remote areas, outdoor setting, and then communication of overhead security. This is the security purpose of the energy efficient, because this is I am using for clustering. These are my methodology. First, we can start the network sensor and deployment of the node. First, cluster formation. Cluster is the many of the sensors perform of the sequence of the perform of the cluster, and then the select of the cluster head, one of the cluster head, and all of the sensors. So cluster head and base station was provide of the data to sensing of the node and collect the request of the all the sensors to transfer to the data, and they can the mobile sync was the create the path of all clusters and sensors. These are the my methodology. Platform. I'm using the simulation tool for Cup Carbon. Cup Carbon simulation tool was the use the there are the very environment friendly and design of the mobility scenario, and these are the natural event. We can always work of the there the WSN design simulation tool called Cup. It is the multi-agent and discrete event of the WSN simulation. It can design of the user friendly also. I'm working on the Linux and Windows both. Performance parameter. My energy efficient. Hello. My my energy efficient clustering protocol are the performance parameter of the network timeline, energy consumption, throughput, and delivery ratio, and end-to-end delay and packet loss ratio. So network timeline methodologies measure of for the network operate in can before the battery sensing node. It can calculate the ratio of the total data, and energy consumption was the energy consumption is amount of energy consumption for the data transmitted and design of the node. It can calculate the ratio for total energy and total consumption per bit. Throughput is this is the amount of data that can the measure of the network unit and throughput. And packet delivery was this is the number of packet and successfully delivery the sync to packet generate, and end-to-end delay it can the packet transmitted for the secure to sync. And packet loss ratio. So packet loss ratio always measure to during the transmission total number of the packet transmitted. Simulation tool. I'm working for simulation tool Cup Carbon. This is the all network size and sensor node and which type of mobile sync and which type of energy generate. This is my simulation tool working of these data. Classification of routing protocol. I'm working of the
Jyoti, can you speak
mainly
on your findings, research findings?
Okay, sir. Sir, actually, my experimental setup was that this is I'm performing of the clustering for Cup Carbon, and this is my network graph for all to connect with the sync, sir. These are the 5 sensor node, one the sync. This is are the connect, and which type of receive. I'm totaling packet of the data ratio. And sir, my pending work was these are my reference. My pending work is only sir. I'm using for Leech. I'm working for and then sir Pegasus and Leech Pegasus and Leech comparison for only pending work. And Leech was my completed.
Okay, thank you, Jyoti. The next one is Dongwang 201. Is Dongwang here? The next one is Amit Srikant 202. Are you here? After that, Shrestha Goenka 203.
Yes, sir, I'm here, sir.
It starts Shrestha.
Yes, sir, I'm just presenting, sir.
Maybe here are 2 paper IDs from your side, Shrestha.
So actually, that's another Shrestha.
Okay.
Like, he's my junior.
Okay.
So I hope it's visible, sir.
It's visible.
Yes, sir. So my research paper is on the topic age and gender recognition system using machine learning. So it's an analytical review because I've explained what machine learning is, what are the different components of machine learning which are used, the algorithms, and how one can create an age and gender recognition system. So these are the paper is divided into 3 parts. First is the introduction. It clearly explains the scope of the paper, that It's just for the literature review, that what is the machine learning concepts, what is feature extraction, and how can one create a project of its own. So the theory part is all about machine learning. Like, what is machine learning? Machine learning is an sub chapter of artificial intelligence, which deals with input, giving the machine some inputs, and it learns from those inputs how the data processes, or the how the data progresses as the inputs increase. So it can create its own output or predictions. Then, what is age and gender recognition system? It's it uses two basic features, which is the face recognition and image processing. So by recognizing the face and processing the image, it calculates the approximates the age and gender of the image of the person. So for the data collection, because I had limited time, so I used pre-processed data, pre-trained models for the face and the image separately, which I then included into one big project, which helped me to recognize the age and gender of the subject. Then the results for my model was pretty successful, and some of the limitation which I encountered was due to the face angle and the lighting. It can wrongly predict the gender of predict the age and gender of the subject. For example, here there's there's an age group of 4 to 6, even though the person is 20 years old. So this is all dependent upon the lighting and the face angle it has captured. It can also recognize. It has given certain confidence score for its prediction.
Okay,
Then here's the graph.
Thank you. It's a good presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
The next one is Deepak Naresh Kumar 205 and 206. Here are two presentations from this side, Deepak and Naresh Kumar. Are you here? Next is Vishakha Chaudhary 211. After that, Srest Kumar again.
Yes, sir, I'm present. So is my screen visible?
Start your sharing, Srest.
Is my screen visible? Hello? Am I audible? So, good afternoon to the respective committee. I'm Shrestha Kumar presenting my topic on implementation of Internet of Things in modern smart cities. So, what my presentation is all about, how Internet has inspired us to make our life comfortable and control anything through our
Srest, is the disturbance from your side?
Pardon me, sir? Hello? Hello? Am I audible?
You are not audible, Srest.
Hello?
You are not audible and your screen is not visible.
So, am I audible now?
You are audible now.
Audible now. So, sorry for the disturbance. Just give me a second, please. Is my screen visible to you now? Hello? Hello? Is my screen visible? So I'll start my presentation. Pardon me for the disturbance, but I'm facing some issues. So what my project or my term paper is about, how internet has evolutionized itself in a way that everything that we do is by a touch in our own devices, which also includes the fact that now the things present in our houses is also being controlled by everything through our phones or our laptops and anything. This has evolutionized the use of internet in the daily basis, and the project evolves around the project. So the first thing that I'll be covering is the literature review of Internet of Things, like basic topics like what are smart houses, how has IoT been visualized in recent times, and what are the key concepts of smart houses and the applications. So moving on with it, smart houses are known as smart houses and are referred to residential spaces with the advanced technologies and systems to provide automation, control, and monitoring of various aspects of daily living. These technology rely on the Internet of Things to connect and communicate with different devices, and the systems within the house, creating a network of interconnected smart devices. The goal of smart houses is to enhance the quality of life and improve energy efficiency and convenience, and provide a safer and a more comfortable living environment for the residents. Evolution of IoT and its role in smart houses. Internet of Things has played an important part in the development and popularity of smart houses. Internet of Things usually refers to a network of physical devices or things that are embedded with sensors, softwares, and connections that enable them to store and exchange data. The development of Internet of Things has led to an integration and communication of various devices and systems in the smart home, making communication and control possible. The concepts of smart houses, like this
Thank
has.
you, Shrest. Thank you. The next one is
Excuse me, sir.
demand 215.
Sir, this is Deepak.
Okay, Deepak.
Yes, sir.
205 and 206.
Yes, sir.
You may
Yes, sir. 205 and 206.
Okay, you may wait now. The next one is Swati Dhiman.
Yes, sir, I'm
Okay.
present.
215.
Yes, sir,
Are you
I'm
there?
present. Yes, sir, I'm present.
Start your presentation, Swati. The next one after Swati is 219 Jayendra Kumar Singh. Swati, start your presentation.
Yes, sir, I'm just sharing the screen. So my screen should be visible.
It's visible.
Okay, sir. So while completing my internship at IIT Roorkee, I came across this technology, real-time image processing, and then I thought to myself that does it have any industrial usefulness? And that was the major objective, that it is a qualitative study on finding out industrial usefulness of real-time image processing. I studied recent developments of the techniques and investigated challenges of the field, and also proposed some novel solutions. So here is what is RTIP. Excuse me, sir.
Swati,
I
is
think
there
you
any
lost
technical
me.
error?
Yes, sir.
आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही.
Sir, there was a connectivity issue. I'll resume. So after clarifying the objectives, I was talking about the essentiality of RTIP. It's essential to avoid time delay crises in fields like medical surgeries,
where we use robots to perform cardiac surgeries, and it is highly essential that we achieve precision without losing any time. And rapid decision making, interaction, and response, those are the key factors why RTIP is the technology that we need to invest in. Then here we have some applications, and without taking much further time, I'll just say medical imaging and autonomous vehicles. These are two of the applications that the research paper that I submitted talk about. Surveillance, security, and industrial automation are also other applications that people are considering, but medical imaging and autonomous vehicles are the applications that will help us cut costs for healthcare sector as well as achieve renewable resources for transportation, which is one of the major goals of UN. So this is one of the technologies that should be implemented from the laboratory to industry, and we should be investing in it. Here are some challenges. So I won't bore you all with the challenges, but here is a quote by Frédéric Dufour, one of the French researchers who I came across while doing the literature survey for my paper. The challenge here is to bridge the domain gap between real data and synthetic data. And we have to accomplish this challenge in the domain of time. So that's the major challenge. Here are some challenges listed out if you feel like reading it out. Now, these are some solutions that we utilize optimized algorithms for faster executions, edge computing, and deep learning for improved accuracy and efficiency. Now, there are always trade-offs of accuracy and energy efficiency in the laboratory. The trade-offs are lower, and that is the major challenge that in industry, the trade-off will be huge.
Thank
and
you,
how
Swati.
much are we willing to pay for that?
Thank you, Swati. The next one
So
is Jayendra
concluding,
Kumar
I
Singh.
just like to say that
Yes, sir.
Start your presentation, Jayendra.
Yes, sir.
concluding, I'd just like to say that this field has big collaboration between academia and technology. And with that, I'd like to rest my voice.
Good afternoon. My paper entitled as Sun Preference and the Contraceptive Prevalence in Haryana and Empirical Analysis. Through this paper, I tried to find out whether there is sun preference in Haryana or not. And if it is there, then up to what extent. And I also tried to find out the contraceptive behavior among women couples in Haryana. Hello.
Sir, you belong to Banaras Hindu University.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
UP, and you are collecting data from Haryana.
Yes, sir. I am collecting. The NFHS 4 has collected this data from Haryana. I am doing it's the sun preference, whether there is sun preference or not, and up to what extent there is a sun preference.
Okay, continue, Jayendra.
Okay, the source of data is NFHS 4, which has been conducted under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. And here the methodology is Arnold index has been calculated to assess the impact of sun preference on the usage of contraceptive by the woman. The formula is given. Arnold 1985 proposed this method, and this is the formula. In NFHS 4 in Haryana, in the sample of 21,654, there are 70.9% has at least one child, and 69% modern contraceptive. Okay. So, yes, sir. This is the first finding. The contraceptive used by sex composition and residence in Haryana.
Is not moving, Jayendra.
Sir, there may be connective issue because.
Okay. Continue.
So overall, it is seen from the table 1 that sex preference has more effect on the contraceptive use in both urban and rural, since the contraceptive use rate would increase from 69.70 to 74.44% in the urban area and 69.27 to 75.5 in the rural area in the absence of sex preference. The result of table 1 reveal high preference for son in both urban and rural areas. If we see for parity, when the parity increases, there are two findings. A higher percentage of women use contraception once they have more boys than girls, indicating that they are more satisfied with the sex composition of their children, demonstrating a clear preference for male child. The next other percentage of women. Yes, sir.
can you share with us the present day sex ratio in Haryana compared to other states? Have you got
Sir,
any graph?
sir, no, sir. Actually, I used the data from NFHS 4, and in NFHS 4 also, sir, their sex ratio is same as before, the 879. So from NFHS 4, I try to find out whether there is some preference or not, sir. By socio-economic variables, by residence wise.
There is a suggestion for your next research. You may collect data from age 0 to 10
Okay,
for Haryana. Then you will make a next research paper, and best wishes for that. Thank you, Jayendra.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
The next one is Meenakshi Sharma, Deepa Mehta. Paper ID 222 and 223.
Good
Meenakshi
afternoon, sir.
Sharma and Deepa Mehta.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. I'm sharing my screen. Good afternoon to all of you. Am I audible? Hello.
You are audible, Meenakshi.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Here is my screen. My topic is analyzation of IoT, big data analytics, and cloud computing in the development of the smart city. Sir, these days, people want to
Meenakshi,
employ
skip to the
as much
major
as...
findings.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We are
Sure.
short of time. So,
Yes, sir. I will.
conclusion.
Yes, I will take only 2 minutes. We just investigate how combining these technologies like big data, cloud computing may enhance the result of planning and conceiving smart cities. And in aid of uh, overcoming the numerous obstacles as well as difficulties that urban designers and planners have to confront. Sir, it is good to believe that you don't need to alert authorities when there is a power outage, no water supply, or loose nut bolt on a bridge that endangers life. Instead, you can focus on your personal affairs and not record a complaint concerning the lack of water or electricity supply, as smart technologies are going to notify the appropriate authorities on their own. Sir, we investigate that big data and cloud computing and IoT, these three technologies can be merged for developing the smart cities, because the big data is able to manage various sources of the data at enormous volumes, and as smart cities produce this type of data and need to identify patterns to improve services to citizens. This problem is also readily solved by the big data, and we found that by offering resources on demand at price based on actual consumption, cloud computing assists in resolving these issues. Additionally, it makes it possible for the infrastructures to become quickly scaled up and down, allowing the system to respond to the actual need. Even so, cloud infrastructure provides a flexible capacity to deliver compute resources as needed. So government can establish their own data processing and storage clouds that can be accessed public, private, and hybrid services. We show how these technologies complement one another and how, if used to implement smart cities, they will produce a city full of electronic gadgets that improve the lives of citizens by automating their daily activities. My future articles will examine the actual smart city technologies that can be applied more effectively with the aid of the Internet of Things, big data, and cloud. Thank you, sir. Thank you for all. Thank you.
The next one is Haider Abdul Razzaq. Are you here?
Yes, sir, I'm ready.
Start your presentation, Haider.
Yes, sir. 1 minute. Is it clear? Sir, my presentation is clear?
It's visible now. Yeah, start. Haider, start.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Sir, it's here Haider Abdul Razzaq. I'm from Iraq, from Chaudhry Devi University under Dr. Manu Swaj. I will explain the first slide. I will talking about the contribution of international trade on achievement, long-term growth and development, a case study of Qatar. The important and interesting of trade and development are stop. Trade and development is an important and interesting topic because they affect the welfare and prosperity of countries and people. The second point, I will explain the objectives. The objective and research question. My objectives are to examine the causal effect of trade openings, trade balance, and export diversification on growth development and human development in Qatar, and
Haider,
to
can you
compare
speak on your
Qatar with
research work?
other. Sorry, sir.
Come to your numerical part or case study, your proposed model or your finding.
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm Haider Abdul Razak.
Come to your work.
Yes. Yes. I complete. Yes, I will complete it. My research question are how does trade affect development in Qatar? How are the channel and mechanism of this relationship? How does Qatar compare with other countries or regions in terms of trade and development? Next point, the findings and implications. My main findings are that trade openings and export diversification have positive effect on all three outcomes. Whole trade balance has a negative effect on growth and development, but not on human development. My implications are that Qatar should continue to be open and diversify in its trade, but also address its trade surplus problem by stimulating its domestic demand or investing in Qatar sector or countries. Qatar should also pay attention to other aspects of development such as poverty reduction and income distribution. Next slide, I should explain to her some literature review.
Skip this slide, Haider. Go to the next slide.
Sorry?
Go to the next slide.
Next slide, literature review, and after that, the methodology. Explain the methodology?
Yes. Carry on.
Okay, I will explain the methodology. I will escape literature review. Methodology, first point, data sources and variables. I used panel data for 96 products and different indicators of trade and development variables from various data sources. Next point, panel data model and estimation methods. I used a panel data model with fixed, effect, and OLS and AV methods, I mean here instrumental variables methods, to estimate the effect of trade on development. Next point, instruments and identification strategy. I used exogenous source of variation in trade as instruments such as distance, language, colonial ITs, regional agreements, and natural resources. Next point, sensitivity and robustness checks. I performed sensitivity and robustness checks with different specifications, samples, or methods to test my result. Next slide. My result. First point, trade openness, trade balance, and export diversification and their effect on economic growth in Qatar. Here, trade openness and export diversification have a positive effect, while trade balance has a negative effect on economic growth in Qatar. Next point, how trade openness, trade balance, and export diversification affect economic development in Qatar. Here, trade openness and export diversification have positive effect, while trade balance has negative effect on economic development in Qatar. Third point, the impact of trade openness, trade balance, and export diversification on human development in Qatar. Trade openness and export diversification have positive effect, while trade balance has no effect on human development in Qatar. Next point, a comparison of my result with the literature review on international trade and economic development in Qatar and other countries. My results are consistent with a literature on the benefit of trade for development countries, but differ from some studies on the role of the trade balance. Last point in the result, the R-square values and the instrument validity test for each outcomes variable and each trade variable. Here, the trade variables explain a large population of the variation in the outcomes variables, and the instruments are validated and strong. Next slide, the conclusion. It's here I will replay the findings of the study. The purpose of my article was to analyze the relationship between trade and development in Qatar. The main findings of my article was that the openness and export diversification had a positive effect on whole trade balance and negative effect on the development. Next point, the impact and contribution of the research. The impact of my article was provide comprehensive and rigorous analysis of the case of Qatar. The contribution of my article was to add to the literature and practice on trade and development. And the last point, the channels and opportunities identified. The channels of my article were to overcome the limitations and difficulties of the panel data approach and the data sources and variable. The opportunities of my article were to suggest some direction for future research that can extend or improve my analysis. It's here. It's here. Thank you very much for your attention. I'm happy answer any question or continue that you may have. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Heather. Thank you. Next,
Thank you, sir.
the next one is
Yes, sir.
next one, Manoj Kumar, 94.
Thank you.
Chirag Jain.
Yes, sir.
Who's Chirag Jain?
I'll present, sir.
Yes, Chirag.
I hope my screen is visible. So, hello everyone, good afternoon. This is Chirag Jain. I'm presenting my paper titled Bitcoin Closing Price Prediction using Autoregressive Integrated Moving Average ARIMA model. So, I, along with Dr. Renu Ghosh and Dr. Josna Singh, has written this paper. So, I'll keeping time constant and time in mind, I'll focus on my methodology and discussion. So when we talk about investment, so the traditional investment avenues like real estate, jewelry, equity, stock market, debt market were in mind. But with the advent,
Chirag, keep to your research work.
Yes, sir. So I took Bitcoin and I tried to predict the future price of Bitcoin based on ARIMA model. So my data source is Kaggle website. From there, I downloaded the data from 17 July 2010 till 2nd June 2023. So I got total 4,704 observations. So now the ARIMA model which I used is the full form of ARIMA is Autoregressive Integrated Moving Average. So it's a method developed by George Box and.
Can you skip to next, Chirag?
So the core part of my research is this slide that before applying the ARIMA model, I need to ensure that the time series should be stationary. So for that, I draw this plot, the figure number 2. Here, the mean and the variance is not constant. And figure number 3 shows the ACF plot, which is auto correlation function plot. Here, most of the spikes, or I said all the spikes are crossing the blue dotted lines. So by this, I got to know that my data has having the problem of autocorrelation. And just to confirm, I use the auto augmented decay filler test, which also confirmed that the data series is not stationary. So now I use the R Studio. For in that there is a function known as auto.arima, which provides the best ARIMA fit order as well as make the data.
Chirag, can you please tell how you choose the value of PDQ in this ARIMA model?
Sir, that I'm telling. So in R, we have a function auto.arima. So that function itself gives the best order, which gives the values of P, D, and Q. So here I got the best model is 010. So P is 0.
On what we have, you will decide that this is best.
Sir, this is done with the help of RStudio. So the best model comes out to be 010.
RStudio is a software to calculate the statistical value, not to calculate or not to tell that which model is best or not.
Sir, there is to the best of my knowledge, sir, there is a function auto.arima that provides the best model itself.
Okay, continue.
G. So here I got 010, which is also known as random walk model. So after applying the ARIMA model, I again draw the ACF plot for the residual just to check that my stationary problem should not be there, or auto correlation problem should not be there. So here now the spikes most of the spikes are under the control of blue dotted line. So that means my data is not having the problem of auto correlation. So now it's the time to predict the value. So after 4,704 observation, I made the prediction for the next value, which is 4,705th observation for dated 3rd June 2023. Then the price comes out to be $27,214. And after predicting this value, when I was checking the real value, so the price on 3rd June 2023 was around $27,130. So the forecasted value is not exactly the same, but it is very close. So the entire forecast I confirmed by using the test known as box Elgin test. This the output of this test also showed that the data is not having the problem of autocorrelation. So with the different lags, lag 10, lag 15, lag 20, p value comes out to be like 757, which is much more than 0.05. So here the problem of autocorrelation was not there. So the conclusion part is that I have showed how the ARIMA model can be applied to predict the Bitcoin closing prices. So based on this model, the investors can choose the best time to buy and best time to sell based on the ARIMA model. So this is my entire research. And these are the keywords and the references which I have referred.
Thank you so much. Thank you. The next one is Dr. Chirag, Sushma, Sunita Mehla, and Khushbu Dalal. 151. Khushbu Dalal, start your presentation.
Yes, sir. Topic of my presentation is e-governance, opportunities and challenges in Indian perspective. Now coming to definition of e-governance.
Khushbu, start your screen sharing. Your screen is not visible.
Okay, sir. 1 second. Sir, the previous candidate, please stop sharing the screen.
I've already stopped.
Okay, the topic of my presentation is e-governance, opportunities and challenges in Indian perspective.
Khushbu, only show your research work. Skip all the other slides.
Okay, sir. Coming to inferences from e-governance survey, the 2020 ranking of the 193 UN member states in terms of digital government capturing the scope and quality of online services, status of telecommunication infrastructure and existing human capacity is led by Denmark, Republic of Korea and Estonia. Among the least developed countries, Bhutan, Bangladesh and Cambodia have become leaders in digital government development. India slips to 100th position in UN e-government development index rankings. Inferences from National E-Governance Survey. E-governance has picked up of late 45% sales are on e-commerce sites. Rural is also neck to neck in e-governance. Gujarat, Telangana and Karnataka are doing exceedingly well in e-governance. Indian Railways site is the most popular site and has generated a revenue of more than 11,000 crores in the year 2014. Amongst the public sector banks, the SBI and PNB top the usage. In private sector, it is the ICICI. IT returns are in big in the C2G domain. Cyber laws, legislations, and allied aspects are to be dovetailed into e-governance. The first university to implement e-governance was the UPTU, Uttar Pradesh. AICT was the first government body to implement 100% e-governance. Opportunities for e-governance, improved access to services. E-governance enables citizens to access government services online, reducing bureaucratic red tape and enhancing convenience. Enhance transparency and accountability. Digital platforms can promote transparency by providing real-time information on government activities, expenditures, and policies. It was seen in UNESCO report 2019. Inclusive governance. E-governance has the potential to bridge the urban-rural divide, empowering marginalized.
Thank you, Khushbu. Khushbu, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
The next one is 49. Vrinderjeet Singh. Madam Deepa, you are last in our queue today. Sorry, Richa, madam. Vrinder Singh is not here. Next one is Nilambra again. Nilambra. After that, Mukesh Kumar Bhardwaj. Nilambra Srivastava again. Pawan Kumar. Madam Richa Handa.
Yes, sir.
Can we skip to you? Any other presenter who want to present?
Yes, sir. It's Deepak. Paper ID 205 and 206.
Okay, Deepak. Madam Richa, can we hear
207 also there.
Before you?
207.
Okay, sir, no problem. I will give after that.
Okay. Deepak Kumar.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Deepak, PhD scholar from DCRUST, Murthal.
Okay, you just start.
My paper ID are 205 and 206. I, along with Dr. Naresh Kumar, Assistant Professor, DCRUST, Murthal, worked on these papers. Okay. And,
Start your sharing, Deepak.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My screen is visible, sir.
It's visible now.
Okay, sir. So, my first paper ID is 205 and relates to voltage stability by correlating SVC and STATCOM in power system. The major contents are introduction, region of voltage instability, introduction to fact devices, SVC, STATCOM, and VI characteristics of SVC and STATCOM. I have taken 14 bus test system without SVC and STATCOM. 14 bus test system with SVC and STATCOM. Comparison between SVC and STATCOM, conclusion and future scopes. Basically, first point is introduction about voltage stability. Voltage stability is a critical.
Come to your work.
Okay, sir. So basically, SVC and SVC is a SVC building blocks contains TSR, TCR, TSC, and STATCOM building blocks is present here. I have compared these SVC and STATCOM in power system. Total installed capacity of the FACT devices and their estimated total installed power is comparatively SVC has 600 numbers of installation and STATCOM is 15, and above all series composition have 700. So I have compared here SVC and STATCOM. The VI characteristics of static VAR compensator SVC is the VI characteristics of static VAR compensator describes its voltage current behavior, illustrating how the reactive power output of the SVC changes in response to the voltage across its terminal. These characteristics are vital in understanding how an SVC operates and its impact on the power system. Let's delve into the VI characteristics of SVC. Next is VI characteristics of STATCOM. STATCOM exhibits constant current characteristics when the voltage is low, high, under, over the limit. This allows STATCOM to deliver constant reactive power at the limit compared to SVC. I have taken this 14 bus test system for comparison here. And these are the 14 bus tests without FACTS voltage magnitude profile for 14 bus starting from 1 to 14. Where we can see that the voltage level are different at all buses. And voltage profile for 14 bus with and without SVC and STATCOM at bus 14 are represented here with blue and red curves. A PV curve for 14 test bus system with SVC at bus 4. I have considered at bus 4. Basic comparison between SVC and STATCOM gives PV curves of base and system with SVC and STATCOM are illustrated in figure that I have presented before. It indicates that with the application of SVC and STATCOM, voltage profile in the 14 bus has improved significantly. At first, that system experiences light load and voltage profile of this bus with SVC and STATCOM is the same. In this condition, SVC and STATCOM operate in linear region of VI characteristics. When the load of the system is increased, the effect of the STATCOM is improving. The voltage is more adequate than the SVC. And when the maximum limit is...
Thank you, Deepak. Your next paper.
Okay, sir. I am presenting my next paper. Yes, sir. Screen is visible?
It's visible.
Yes, sir. Second paper is simulation analysis of static VAR compensator SVC for voltage stability improvement using MATLAB. Basic objective of...
Can you show only the findings about your objectives, Deepak, in this paper?
Yes, sir. These are my objectives. The
only
objective is to
findings
solve
for
the...
these objectives.
Okay, findings. Okay, sir.
Only findings.
I have in MATLAB modeling, I have taken a 735/16 kV system of 6000 MVA. The SVC consists of 735 kV/16 kV, 333 MVA coupling transformer. One is 109 MVA thyristor controlled reactor, and two are 94 MVA thyristor, TSC1 and TSC2. This is my model, MATLAB model that I have worked on. And the results of the model are signal and scope results with SVC and without SVC. I have compared these results with SVC and without SVC. In that I am just zooming in. First is VA input and IA input curve. Second one is Q curve, and third one is V measurement and number of TSCs. Next one, alpha is the firing angle. Initially, the source voltage is set at 1.01 per unit, resulting in a 1.0 per unit voltage at SVC terminals. When the SVC is out of service, as the reference voltage reference is set to 1.0 pu, the SVC is initially floating zero current.
Deepak, thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
The next one is Preeti Rani, ID 141. Preeti, are you here? Preeti. The next, after that, Mukesh Bhardwaj.
Yes, sir. I am here.
Okay, before Mukesh, can we hear Preeti?
Yeah, sure. I am ready, sir. Just wait, sir. I am sharing my presentation.
Mukesh, after Preeti Rani, you will present.
Sure, sure, sir. Okay, I am waiting.
Preeti, you are not audible. Preeti, you are not audible. Slide is showing, but you are not audible, Preeti. Mukesh. Next one, Mukesh.
Yes, sir.
Start your presentation, Mukesh.
Sure, sir. Just wait.
Kuldeep, as we are saying our schedule, your paper ID 207 is not in our schedule today.
Sir, are you, or I am audible, sir? Hello?
Yes,
Hello?
Mukesh, you are audible.
My screen is...
Your screen is not visible now. Preeti, can you stop your presentation presenting?
Sir, another time I am...
Start, Mukesh.
Sir, my screen is... hello?
Your screen is visible now.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay, sir. Sir, just a minute. Sir, my paper is Internet of Things IoT in Healthcare. Today we are generating lots of data, or we are in the age of digital. So when we talk about digital, so we have lots of opportunity after in medical science. So my topic is the Internet of Things in healthcare market. Today, healthcare market is very large opportunity in IoT with the help of IoT. With the help of IoT, my content is introduction, role of IoT.
Skip these slides and show only your findings before that your work. Research work only. Your work.
Okay,
What
okay.
about your work is showing?
It's my introduction, sir. So healthcare challenges have created new requirement for healthcare providers to deliver high quality healthcare service successful. IoT with its set of benefits such as enabling real-time monitoring. Sir, real-time monitoring is very important part to patient, providing a more nature and effective solution to collect patient data. It's a very important part, sir, in the and tracking the activity of patient and staff meet the new requirement, such as get a better understanding of patients' medical conditions in a series of phases and complex care needs, advanced healthcare systems focused on the modern treatment approach and healthcare delivery systems, clinical information system to provide decision support.
Mukesh,
Yes, sir.
come to your work. Come to your work. We have shortage of time, so you may come to your work.
Sure. How, sir, this is the how healthcare transforming from the IoT revolution, clinical practices, track monitoring and quantity, determine series, and health risk assessment care by care of Chotkoini research studies. What is covered in research paper, sir? It's my focus is this paper focus on IoT healthcare market growth and trends, sir. What are the opportunity of in IoT? With the help of IoT, how we improve our medical science and medical facility. Another one is factors responsible for rapid growth of IoT based healthcare systems. This is the another advantage or because my aim of research paper. Next one is paper covers segmentation of IoT market in healthcare based on the areas where it is being used. It's very important part, sir. Key companies who prominent players in the global Internet of Things in the healthcare market. Today, sir, we are living in digital environment. So we have required to IoT in the phase of medical science. IoT in healthcare market growth and trends is my table in the table format in 2021, 22, 23, and 2000. It will be in 2033. It will be approximate 960 billions users to which is you who's used to this IoT trends. Factor responsible for rapid growth of IoT-based and healthcare system, mobile internet, such as smartphones, Internet of Things, or employment. There are lots of opportunities or factors responsible for rapid growth of IoT. This is another table. Next one is IoT market segmentations or production insights, connectivity technology insights. Healthcare market segment provide the insight into the behavior of healthcare consumers in an environment. Market insight of IoT in healthcare are followed. There are lots of points, sir. IoT market segmentation, I have differentiated IoT market insight description, example, remarks, or these all are the
Thank
IoT
you,
market.
Mukesh. Mukesh, thank you. You present very good. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you a lot. You give me
A very good afternoon to all of you. Ma'am Richa Handa, Dr. Richa Handa is here with us. Dr. Richa Handa, I would like to extend my warm wishes and welcome to you, ma'am, in this session. Dr. Richa Handa from DP Vipra College, Bilaspur. She is session chair for technology with us today. And we have Dr. Professor Dr. Deepak Kumar from AIMT University, Noida. He is physically present with us. Sir, I would also like to welcome you, sir, here. And then we have Professor Krishna A. Goyal, Jayanarayan Vyas University, India. He is also present. He also joined us through online mode. Sir, I would like to extend my warm welcome and wishes to you, sir. Thank you for joining us, sir. And now, Ma'am Richa Handa, she wants to present her paper. Ma'am Richa Handa, you can present your paper now.
Thank you, ma'am. Very good afternoon to all of you. My research paper title is Semantic Analysis of Indian Stock Market using Natural Language Processing and Machine Learning Techniques. And these are the outlines of my research work. first I come to the introduction of my work. As we know that the social media is a platform where people share their opinion on the various topics, depend on what they wish to return and what they feel about the particular topic, whether this topic may be some negative aspect or in a positive aspect. So here we done the sentiment analysis played a very important role for the mining meaningful text, sentiments and emotions from the user opinion, which they have shared in social media platform. So we have done sentiment analysis for the Twitter data based on the stock market. So in this study, we have collected 5,000 tweets and identified how much tweets are positive, negative, and some of the tweets are the neutral tweets. So in this study, we have used 3 machine learning techniques for classify these type of sentiments. We have used Bernoulli naive-Bayes, support vector machine, and logistic regression, and performed the comparative study to find out which model is outperforming for sentiment analysis of the Indian stock market. These are some literature that we have reviewed before writing the paper. Now come to the methodology that we have used is a logistic regression that first we apply to the data that we have collected. That is a tweets that we have collected. So regression is the type of supervised learning which is used to classify or predict any value. And this predicted value in any binary data such as yes or no, true or false, or positive or negative. And second one that we have used is a Bernoulli naive-Bayes classification method, which is use the concept of Bernoulli distribution to accept only binary value to work on it. And third one we have used support vector machine. It is a category of the feed-forward network, and it is used for searching the best hyperplane as a decision surface to get the margin of between positive and the negative values of the data. This is the process flow diagram that how we collected the data, how we work. So first we collected the data from the Twitter, and the data is based on the stock data. We have used in the Indian stock data that how people think about the Indian stock data. Some think positive, some negative, and some neutral. And then after we have done the pre-processing, because pre-processing required because the data we have collected is a raw in a nature. So we have to remove some stop words, repetitive words, punctuation marks, or white spaces, or some emojis that have used in the Twitter. So we have to remove all these noise from the data to make it give it to the machine learning models. And then we have done the sentiment analysis. Here the model training and testing has been used for the machine learning classification method. When we collect the data, this is the screenshots of the Python that we have used in our work. We have calculated some positive, negative, and neutral tweets. And then we have identified that 5,000 tweets are there. 2340 are the positive number of tweets, and 1666 negative number, and 994 are the neutral number. These are the data before the pre-processing. And when we pre-process the data, then you can see the changes that 2345 data, that is 46%, approximately 47% of the data is a positive, and 33% is a negative data, and approximately 20% is the neutral data. This is the experimental calculation that we have performed. Is the visualization of the treatment. Yes, sir.
Your findings.
Okay, sir. This is the conclusion of my research work. While doing the pre-processing, all the unnecessary
Slides are not moving.
Yes, sir.
Okay, carry on, Richard. Carry on.
Okay. While doing the pre-processing, all the unnecessary information from the tweets are removed, such as blank spaces or repetition, and then sentiment analysis of the tweet related to the stock data is analyzed using machine learning techniques that we have used, Bernoulli naive-Bayes, SVM, and the logistic regression, and then calculate the accuracy. For the accuracy, we have used the F1 score measurement, which is a combination of the recall and the precision. So when we have done the experiment, we found that the accuracy of the logistic regression model is higher than the Bernoulli naive-Bayes classification and the SVM classification, because we have also done the comparative study between all these techniques, that which one is producing the better results. So we find that the logistic regression is performing the better for the sentiment analysis with the higher accuracy in all the measures. These are some references that we have used in our research work. So thank you so much for your attention. Yes, sir. It is completed, sir.
Okay, Richard. Okay.
Yeah.
So anyone?
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah, Preeti, yeah, just go on.
Okay, sir.
Carry on.
Is it visible, sir?
Yeah, visible. Yeah, start.
Good afternoon, everyone. So, my topic for the presentation is transformation in payment system, e-commerce to m-commerce. This is a conceptual-based paper based on the literature, so I'll keep it short and brief. People in ancient time exchange product and services in order to get what they need, but now people mostly utilize money for product and services. So, commerce is like any transaction that employs money to acquire goods and services. Also, due to the internet and web technology arrived in the picture, the way of doing business had changed completely and the e-commerce grown in the popularity. Here, I want to show some facts here. As per the latest data, India in the year 2022 accounts for 46% of global real-time payments. Not only this, if we compare that, digital payment transaction in India is more than other four leading countries combined together. So here is the pictorial representation of this. India stands for 89.5 million transactions. And again, second is Brazil, accounts for 29.2 transactions. And third is China.
Preeti, can you please directly show your research findings?
Sir, this is a conceptual paper. I have just summarized the transformation in this.
Okay,
So,
okay.
Is there
next slide?
This is the transformation, sir. Firstly, we use the commerce, then transformation from e-commerce due to the technologies, and then m-commerce due to the increasing use of mobile phone and internet users. And the same goes for the payment systems. The transformation from checks, cash, others to the e-payments due to the technologies and the government incentives, and then the mobile payments, especially because of the NPCI launched UPI and other incentives. So this is the whole transformation I have given. Yeah.
Come to your conclusion.
Sir, this was the whole transformation. In conclusion, I would just transformation from the commerce to payment system.
Okay, thank you, Preeti. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Anyone? So everyone has done. Okay.
So I guess that's all for the today's session. It was technical session 2 for online mode, and we have Professor Deepak Kumar with us. So would you like to conclude this session?
So all the paper presented in this online session is really very good, and whatever you have contributed to the society, to the science of technology, is really marvelous. And for the further, I am suggesting you to do more research in your area by doing some good research, also do some experimental work, and also do case study on that also. Some not only quality, but also quantitative approach should be there also. So best of luck, all the participants.
Thank you so much, sir. I would also like to extend my thanks to our session chair, Professor Krishna A. Goyal, Jain Narayan Vyas University. Thank you so much, sir, for being with us. Then I would also like to extend my sincere thanks to Dr. Richa Handa, DP Vipra College, Bilaspur. Ma'am, thank you so much. You joined us today. Thank you so much for being with us. And all the participants, thank you so much for your nice presentations. That's all for the session. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you.